Daniel Seidemann, a lawyer, for more on this. Daniel, I just checked your Twitter. You tweeted that there is one person who can put an end on this, and that person is Benjamin Netanyahu. Can we expect more action from him after seeing these scenes like we've seen this morning?
Netanyahu is no longer our prime minister. Formally he is, but he's not governing. In order for him, he would need to weigh in, and he would need to restrain our security forces. Our security forces are using excessive force in proportions that I have never seen before. And they have to be reined in. And apparently they're not going to be reined in by the police command structure.
Right, the tension has been simmering for a while. Is the timing of these recent clashes a coincidence?
By no means. You know, most of the issues between Israelis and Palestinians are about territory. West Bank, Gaza, border. There are two issues that are radioactive, that cut to the core of Palestinian identity and Israeli identity. One is Jerusalem, and the other is displacement, or being refugees. And in recent weeks, we have been seeing tinkering with both of these issues. We've seen an erosion of the status quo on Haram al-Sharif, the Temple Mount. We have seen diminishing space for Palestinians by blocking off Damascus Gate. There is a sense that Jerusalem is being lost. And then you have the displacement in Sheikh Jarrah. Now, Israel has displaced individuals in the past, not a lot. For the first time since 1967, Israel is engaging in large-scale displacement, not of individuals, but of communities, neighborhoods. Sheikh Jarrah is one, and Batan al-Hawa in Silwan is another. And if you take these two elements, radioactive elements of the sanctity of Haram al-Sharif and Al-Aqsa, the sense of threat that is being felt there, and the fear of displacement, that is an act of nuclear fusion. And this wasn't only predictable, it was predicted. We saw this coming. We warned about it, because you do not mess with Jerusalem. Jerusalem always has the last word.
The Israeli court has postponed the ruling on the Sheikh Jarrah evictions that you were talking about. This was some kind of attempt to diffuse the tensions, but seems like that is not working. Talk us through, why is this such an emotional issue for many?
Both the Jewish people and the Palestinian people have collective traumas of displacement. For Jews, virtually every Jewish family has refugee lineage, but every Palestinian family has been influenced by the Nakba. The Nakba is the formative experience of the Palestinian national movement. And we had thought that the Nakba was an event in the past, one that we would have to address, we would have to solve, negotiate about. But this is a rolling Nakba. This is an indication that the Nakba is ongoing, that displacement is not a thing of the past, it's happening in the present. And that touches on one of the rawest nerves, one of the most painful issues in the Palestinian psyche. I understand why.
Right, and what do you make of the Israeli government's settlers policy? How are they justifying removing people from their homes, to its own people even?
What we're witnessing is the ascendancy in Jerusalem of those religious movements that weaponize religion. And there are Jews who do that, there are Muslims who do that, and there are Christians, I mean, and today's evangelicals. These settlers are attempting to ring the old city with biblically inspired settlements, and they're making progress. On the south, you have a ring that goes from Silwan, city of David, ringing the old city on the south to the Mount of Olives. And in Sheikh Jarrah, it is between Green Line, the old border, and Mount Scopus. Because their interpretation of Jerusalem is a restoration of a Jewish kingdom. Jerusalem is Jerusalem when no community needs to struggle to maintain its identity. Not Israelis, not Palestinians, not Jews, not Christians, not Muslims. And regrettably, Israeli policies are now the fragmentation of Palestine or of Palestinian East Jerusalem, the denationalization of Palestinian East Jerusalem, and the marginalization of the Muslim equities. That is a very dangerous mix.
Daniel Seidemann, I really appreciate your insight for us here at TRT World. He's a lawyer and he was joining us from West Jerusalem. Thanks so much again.